Well, hello and welcome to another Eurovision 2023 interview. And today I am feeling the fever because I am joined by Andrew Lambrou, who is in Australia but is representing Cyprus this year. Andrew, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. How are you going?
Doing pretty good. It's been definitely a long day, and a long day of Eurovision interviews over here. You're my second one of the day, but it's refreshing. I think a lot of them I've been doing in the morning, and so it's
Mhm.
nice to come off like I guess after a whole day of work and be like, I get to end my night by talking to someone who's going to Eurovision and
Oh,
then
I
go to
love
bed.
that.
You
Change of
know,
pace.
Exactly. And maybe my dreams will just be filled of like what Liverpool's going to look like. Maybe I'll dream really well tonight. Well, Andrew, kind of as I mentioned in I guess, my introduction for you, most of our Australian viewers will, of course, know you from Australia Decides 2022. And I think when the announcement came out that you would actually be representing Cyprus this year in early 22, people maybe were a little surprised, but I know, of course, you do have that family tie
Yeah.
back to Cyprus. So I wanted to
Mhm.
ask you, what does it feel like to be representing not only a country and going to Eurovision, but a country that your family is so deeply connected to?
Yeah, it's really a special feeling, I would say. Like, I'll give you a bit of insight on what's happening right now. So Easter's coming up, Orthodox Easter for us, which is a big event in Cyprus and in Greece. And we are about to make a giant batch of this very special Cypriot thing that we have at Easter called Flowness. So that's a very big event that we do every year. And point I'm trying to make here is that there are so many traditions that are from Cyprus that my grandparents have brought over here to Australia. And although I sound very, very much Australian, I am very, very much Cypriot, and I'm very proud to be Cypriot. And I know exactly what it is like to be a Cypriot person because I am one. So I
Mm-hmm.
think some people get quite surprised. They're like, "Oh, he sounds just so Australian," and he's not Cypriot. But like, I promise you that I am. My family is, a massive Greek Cypriot family with every single tradition from Greece and Cyprus brought back here in Australia. And there is a huge Cypriot community in Australia as well. So it's a really special feeling because although I live in Australia and although I've grown up here, I'm so connected to my roots. So to be recognized from my heritage country and for them to believe in me and want to choose me to represent Cyprus, it's just super special. It's just amazing.
Mm. And I remember, I guess the decision that you would potentially be going to Eurovision was a surprise to you as well. Because I was listening to an interview and you were like, "Yeah, I got an email," and I was like, "Is this legitimate?" So can you walk us through, I guess, that moment and what was your first reaction to the news? What happened in that moment?
I woke up one day like every other normal day. I'm just about to go about my life. And I just had this email and it was saying that, we've been watching you for quite a few years and we're very interested in you representing Cyprus at Eurovision. And I was like, nah, that can't be right. This can't be real. But it was very much real. And we got into discussions and here we are today. Like, it's just the most crazy thing. Sometimes life just takes you in the wildest direction. And I'm all for it. But I still can't believe it right now, to be honest with you.
Well, I hope you can, because we're like just a few weeks away
Yeah,
from making it to Liverpool. So hopefully and then well, actually probably for you in the next, I guess, 2 weeks when are you about to kind of leave for Liverpool?
I leave Australia on the 20th of
Okay.
April.
So 2 weeks time, I think it'll really start to set in. And also that jet lag is gonna set in because ugh.
That'll be.
Mm, mm-mm. I remember I talked to
Yeah.
Sheldon last year, and he told me all about how I think the pre-party was the best experience for him because it taught him how much it's going to suck to do that big, massive changeover and then also do Eurovision like rehearsals and press. So I guess my question for you is, how have you been preparing yourself both mentally and physically for all of that?
Yeah, I mean, as an artist, you have a task and you just have to do it. And for me, it's been practicing as much as I can, but not too much to the point where my voice gives out, because I have done that where I keep practicing so much and then it's like, I need to have a break. So I think that those moments where you actually relax and you chill out are just as important as the hard work that you're putting in. So I'm trying to find a balance of practice, getting in the zone. This is the biggest music stage in the world. I don't care what anyone says. If you care about something enough, you can get anxious, you can feel nervous. And of course, I have those feelings too. This is such a massive thing. It's like, whoa. But I've loved music my whole life. This is what I want to do. So I just got to go out there and do it and try and make everyone proud, make myself proud. Cyprus. I've been given this opportunity for a reason, I like to believe, and I do think that everything happens for a reason. So I don't think it was just pot luck that this opportunity presented itself to me. So I'm trying to tell myself that each day and get up and be excited and try and use that energy. And, we're all human. Sometimes it can get to you, but I think it's all about having that balance and that excitement. And I'm really happy to be having a lot of family members coming over to Liverpool with me.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm bringing over a bunch of people from Australia, and like that is super special to me. And I'm just using all that energy for 3 minutes. It's crazy to think that this build-up is just so huge for 3 minutes.
Right. And I think that that's something, so of course, we kind of covered that I'm here in America. And I think a lot of people who are Eurovision fans that are here in America that I talk to, they're like, oh, yeah, I love, those three shows. And I'm like, but do you understand that this whole process starts for most artists, whether you're doing an internal or a national final, and writing songs? Basically the month after the previous contest ended is when
Yeah,
this long process begins. And they're like, whoa, wait, I don't, excuse me, wait, what? Noah Carell was announced in July? And I'm like, yeah, she's been working on a song since July. And they're like, no, there's no way. I'm like, yeah, she's been working since July for 3 minutes.
yeah,
Literally, I kid you not. So I think that that's a really good point. And I think what you said is a really good take. Have fun and enjoy that experience, regardless of the outcome, because this is, I mean, not necessarily the time that you get to do it. Plenty of people are coming back, but it's the one time that you get to experience your first Eurovision as a Eurovision artist. You can't take that, you can't redo that experience.
no,
Um, but I wanted to pivot off of Eurovision for just a quick moment. So I did some digging, and I was poking through your Instagram account, and one thing I wanted to ask: you like to wear a lot of NBA apparel, specifically the LA Clippers. I've seen, I think, the Chicago Bulls and the Bucks, which is very interesting because I don't think anyone knows about the Milwaukee Bucks. So, are you a big basketball fan, or do you just really enjoy that kind of style of like basketball apparel?
basketball is a massive part of my life. It was a huge passion of mine when I was a young kid. I played representative basketball for Sydney when I was like 15 and 16, and many years I played basketball. My favorite player in the NBA is Giannis Antetokounmpo. If you know him, he's the Greek basketball player.
Hmm.
In the NBA, he's regarded as the best player in the world, and he led the Bucks to a championship 2 years ago. And I'm hoping that he can do it again. And he's a fantastic role model. And I also just like the style. Like I've always liked the style. Like I've got a little collection of Air Jordans. I've got my basketball shoes. I've got my baggy basketball trackies. I've got my jerseys. It's just, I don't know. I like the style, and I think that comes with having an interest in the sport and playing it. And I
Mhm.
also think that basketball is one of those sports where the fashion excels outside of the court. Like Air Jordan and stuff, they're the most popular sneakers in the world. Everyone wears them. You don't have to play basketball to wear them. People
Right.
that don't play basketball wear basketball sneakers, just so that it's very fashionable game. And so that's why you see me wearing it all the time. Usually when I'm around the house, I'm wearing basketball stuff.
Fair enough. So I one would probably, I guess, expect when you're not engaged in rehearsals and press conferences, if we see you out in Liverpool, you're going to be wearing some type of basketball jersey and shorts, perhaps? Or are you going to
Probably,
go
yeah.
super undercover and just like try and switch it up so no one can find you?
No, I think I have a stylist for the entirety of my Liverpool journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
So
Well, I hope they pack a lot of rain options.
yeah, I'll probably be looking, schmick. I'd like to say, looking good, hopefully. So yeah, but in my downtime, you'll catch me at the shopping centre with my basketball trackies and hoodie and shoes on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Very comfy stuff.
Well, I also wanted to ask you, which I think perhaps the basketball interest may answer this question, but I feel like there are people out there that maybe just don't know a lot about you. So I would like to
Yeah.
give you an opportunity. What are some things that people may be surprised to learn about you, like some talents, hobbies, obsessions, whatever you want to throw out?
If you can give me 15 seconds, I'm gonna go get something and I'll show you.
Okay, go for it. I'm ready. And I'll count. One, two. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm coming. All right. Okay, so you're about to see an insight to who I am and my personality. Uh,
Okay.
I've taken these two things. I've got many more than two things, but these are the two things in my room. Do you know Marvel?
Of course I do.
Well, this is thing number one. I'll show you. It's my Mjolnir, my Thor's hammer.
Nice.
And the second thing I'll show you is my Stormbreaker.
Yes. Okay, so this is so funny, Andrew. But I was also like, I have a batch of like interview shirts.
Yeah.
So I have my Black Panther shirt on.
Oh, nice.
So we planned
This is so
unknowingly.
good. I love that. You know what else I have? Like, so to answer your question, I love Marvel. I absolutely love Harry Potter. I love Lord of the Rings. My room has both Thor hammers, Thanos' gauntlet. It has Star Lord's helmet. It has three swords from Lord of the Rings. It has
Wow.
Wolverine claws. And my prized possession in my room is a cabinet. And I have basically handmade sculptures of the Avengers.
Wow. Okay, well, you put my entire room to shame. Because I'm a mega Marvel fan, but of not that caliber. But when money is no longer an issue, aka when I maybe get a pay raise, I have it in my like little to-do list that I want to collect. There are a lot of sellers on like Etsy and Amazon that sell the Infinity Stones in the materials that they came in. So like the orb for the purple Infinity Stone and
Correct.
the Eye of Agamotto for the Time Stone. So I want to collect them and have a little mini cabinet of my own for display. But yeah, you definitely outdo even that plan. So wow,
I mean, honestly, maybe at the end of our interview, or if you want, I can go show you what I'm talking about
I would
with the. Do
love to.
you want me to get
So
it now or at the end?
oh, we'll get it at the end, but I have to ask now. So are you going to make arrangements? Because I know the third Guardians movie is coming out while we will be in Liverpool. Are you going to make arrangements to try and go and see it?
I'll do my best. I mean, I would absolutely love to see it while I'm over there, but I've got a very important task ahead of me, which is Eurovision. So we'll play it by ear. We will definitely play it by ear. But that's one thing that some people don't know about me. I like to get into my little nerdy vibes and collect things. I've always collected things. I really have. Like even when I was a little kid, I used to collect things all the time. It was like my favorite thing. Like, I went through like a Pokemon card phase, collecting Pokemon cards. Um, just shoes. I started collecting Jordans. Like, there are some shoes that I just collected and never even wore them because they were like too cool. Maybe one day, if I'm worth millions of dollars, then I'll just wear them because I don't care. But like, when you buy something and it's valuable, collectible, and then it goes up in price, it's like, oh, I don't want to ruin
Mm-hmm.
it. Anyway, I've always been like that. What else? I mean, I'm pretty relaxed type of person. You see what you see online, and online is part of my career, but I also like to try and show hints of who I am to the world. Yeah, like you'll find me watching Harry Potter, making butter beer or something. Like I like to get in the mood, get in the mood of the movie.
Yeah, no, I think that that's great. So maybe after Liverpool, when your schedule frees up a little bit, we'll connect and we will share our nerdisms back and forth because it sounds like we have a lot more in common than I thought we had, and I love every minute of this, Andrew.
Fantastic. I love that.
So, so of course we'll divert back over to Eurovision for one more question. Now I remember hearing in an interview that whilst you were kind of figuring out what song it was that you were going to take to Eurovision, you were kind of going through a listening phase of going through a bunch of songs and things like that. So ultimately, what made you decide that your song "Break a Broken Heart" was the one that you had to sing? And what was it about the song that stood out to you so much?
Um, it it was the song that just grabbed me the most instantly. And you hear that big note at the beginning, and you're like, "Whoa, okay, what's next?" And I think something that really sticks out to me is, we're Eurovision fans, so and obviously I'm in the contest this year, so I'm keeping up with everything. I know every
Of
single
course.
song that's been released. I know all of the songs from all of the artists, and many passionate Eurovision fans will know that too. But the thing is, and my mum actually made this point to me, many, like millions of Eurovision viewers don't keep up with exactly what's happening throughout this whole process. They just put the TV on and they
Mhm.
watch the show. And I think that's something that also stuck out to me too. It's like a lot of people that are going to be watching this haven't heard a single song and they're just getting ready to watch Eurovision. And so if the song grabbed me that much for the first listen, that's something that made me want to choose that song. Now, this song is not easy to sing, it is a task, but with risk, there comes reward. And I said to myself, this has to be the one. This sounds amazing. I connect to it. I'm going to work my butt off and I'm going to sing this song. And that's how it happened.
Awesome. Well, I said I was going to ask one more question, but I'm going to go for my tired and true question because you brought it up. So, of the other 36 artists that are competing in Eurovision, if you had the opportunity to collaborate on a song with any one of them of your choice, who would you pick to work with and why?
I mean, the obvious answer is Voyager, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I love Voyager. I don't have a single bad word to say about that group of people. They are so talented, amazing. I love metal music. Like, I promise you that I love it so much. And I think that a collaboration or a performance one day is something that has to happen. So I'll definitely be talking to them because I really just would love to be on stage with them rather than against them for once in my life. Perform with them and just enjoy it. So that's the obvious answer. But apart from that, I mean, I'd say maybe Noah Carell. I think that would be a really amazing collab.
Mm-hmm.
Lorraine, or is Lorraine or Lorienne? How you say her name?
Either or,
Uh,
yeah.
well, yeah, I would say they're my picks. But I would work with all of them. They're all awesome. Like that's a
Yeah.
hard question.
I know,
That's
I
really
know. And I want to give you, I guess, a little bit of comfort. So when I interviewed Danny, he also said you as the obvious answer. He was like, well, my neighbor, I'd have to go with Andrew. So it sounds like there is grounding there. So if I don't
okay.
see a post Eurovision collaboration, I will be in both of your inboxes as a very angry fan. Okay.
I'm gonna try and make it happen. Danny, everyone, I'm talking to you right now. Um, let's do something. Let's just write a song. Let's have some fun.
Perfect, perfect. Alrighty. Well, I want to be cognizant of your time. Of course, you have more time in your day than I do, at night right now. But of course, I want to remind all the people watching this interview to make sure that you go and check out Andrew Lambrou on Spotify, on YouTube, on all the streaming platforms. Follow him on social media, and also make sure that you tune in. I would say before the semifinal, check out the rehearsal videos, the interviews that are happening, and just kind of support him on his journey. And then, of course, tune in to the semifinal performance for those 3 minutes. And then, if you would like to help support us on the channel as well, very easy. The subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell are all down below. So make sure that you click them because you want to make sure that you get all of our great content coming up in the next weeks and in Liverpool in a few weeks' time as well. But until then, Andrew, I will see you in Liverpool, and everyone else, I'll see you next time. Bye.
See you. See ya.